Good afternoon, good morning. This is Mark Johnson from Loyalty360. I want to welcome everyone back to another episode of our Loyalty360 Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. In this series, we talk to the brand leaders about what they are seeing and hearing on the front lines of customer channel and brand loyalty. Today, we're doing a kind of a awards follow-up, the 2020 Loyalty360 Awards. And we have the pleasure of speaking with Jessica Printy Groves, the brand manager for loyalty marketing, and Emily Mikus, the director of loyalty and shopper marketing at the GIANT company. How are you both today?
Doing well, thanks.
Good. For those of you who don't know, the GIANT company is a U.S. supermarket chain that operates in Delaware, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia. They operate full-scale supermarkets under the Giant and Martin's banners, along with a small-scale urban store under the GIANT Heirloom Market banner. And at the recent 2020 Loyalty360 Awards, the GIANT company took home awards in the business transformation and the employee engagement impact category. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
All right. So I know I did a little bit of an introduction there, but could you tell us more about the GIANT company, a little bit about the brand's history and your roles with the company?
Of course. Sure. I'll kick us off. So the GIANT company, we're an omni-channel grocery retailer. We're located in the Northeast, as you mentioned. We really started as a small fresh meat market back in 1923, but we've since grown to be an omni-channel retailer that we're serving millions of neighbors across several different states. We have more than 35,000 team members supporting nearly 190 stores. Our stores also have pharmacies and fuel stations. We have over 145 online pickup hubs, and we also offer grocery delivery service across hundreds of our zip codes. So really at the GIANT company, we're really focused on groceries, of course, but it doesn't end there. For some of you who may be aware, we did launch a new brand platform earlier this year, which was For Today's Table, which we're really proud of. And for us at the GIANT company, we really believe that when meals happen, families connect. And then when families connect, good things happen. So every day for us is a new opportunity to solve the challenges of today's families, making their lives a little simpler so they can get back to what matters most. So my role at the GIANT company, I lead loyalty and shopper marketing. And so I have the privilege of working with a wonderful team that's responsible for all aspects of customer relationship marketing. We leverage a lot of customer data to drive business results through opportunity marketing, loyalty marketing, lifecycle management, and shopper marketing. And it's all about figuring out how to make those customers' lives a little bit simpler, using the data we have at hand, relevant personalized offers, easy solutions to simplify their shopping and keep them on their way. So with that, I'll just pause there and I'll hand it over to Jessica here. She can talk a little bit more about loyalty specifically.
Yeah, so my role at GIANT, the GIANT company really centers around the overall loyalty experience. As Emily mentioned, that customer life cycle and all personalized aspects and really how loyalty overarches the entire customer experience. My team and I really get the great opportunity and have the great responsibility of really understanding our customers more than anyone. And we get the pleasure of delivering our appreciation to our customers at all levels, as Emily mentioned, to making their lives simpler and how do we help them do that. Personally, I'm obsessed with the experience and really making sure that we improve on the things that pain her in our experience and pain us, and then really hold true to really what we do best, which is connecting families around those meals for those meaningful moments. So I love it.
That's awesome. So your new program was obviously very impactful in kind of the awards that you won recently. And it makes a lot of sense, especially during COVID, right? To be able to kind of re-engage, to have that communal moment for families to get together. How did you decide on that program? And had you decided on that before COVID? Because it's obviously more resounding and more impactful going through COVID, right? Just having that sense of community that family brings. And, meals are very important. Those who don't have 4 kids in 20 different athletic endeavors, and we eat meals at the island, which is what I have, but which is still, I'll take that. But it's a very cool campaign, obviously resonated very, very well. So
yeah.
When did you kind of start working on that program?
Yeah, it's actually been a couple years in the making. So It was really interesting because we've seen a lot of similar campaigns come out, a lot of brands kind of falling into that similar space, but really our work has been in progress for quite some time. And COVID really just presented us the opportunity to lean into For Today's Table even more so. It absolutely, wherever those meals happen, no matter how or where, whether in the backseat of the car, at the sidelines, or at home, more frequently now than ever. And so it just sort of, this pandemic just kind of aligned, not in a positive way, but it did align in a way that we were able to leverage what we already had planned and make more meaningful connections.
That's awesome. As you kind of mentioned, and we've seen as well over the past several months, building and maintaining loyalty with customers has been obviously a very large focus, a greater priority for the Giant company. And I think the marketers who are doing it well are focusing on customer loyalty, bigger picture, and the loyalty program, smaller picture, in very meaningful ways. Can you tell us about some of the approaches that you took to meet these goals of kind of driving both, smaller loyalty and then kind of bigger customer loyalty with your audience?
Yeah, for sure. So in the markets that we operate, the Giant company, we tend to be a market share leader in most of those markets. So for us, we're very privileged to have a very loyal customer base. But with the onset of the pandemic, customers exhibited a shift in what was important to them. And we saw behavior change in a way that was completely unexpected, what felt like almost overnight. Customers were really prioritizing their health and safety in a much greater way than they ever had before. And so they were staying home, they were shifting online, they were making changes. So what we saw really, we saw a little bit of a loss in our customer base. Customers started shopping other retailers. They were going to where the product was. Toilet paper was a hot commodity. And so customers were going to where they could find those things. And we took a little bit of a hit there. So we really had to adjust our plans and prioritize. And we were really focused on reward and retain strategies more than we were already planning. So it's always a high priority for us, but we shifted into that even more so with a really significant emphasis on personalization. And this was really important for us because while our customers remained loyal, their shopping behaviors changed. Some of them were shopping less frequently, some of their basket size changed, and we needed to be able to quickly recognize those changes and adjust to their changing behaviors. So the personalization strategy that we have within Giant Choice Rewards really allowed us to do this. We were able to foster connections in a relevant and meaningful way and keep pace, almost real time. We made quick adjustments to the offer strategy within Choice, but we also developed robust campaigns that were acutely focused on thanks and appreciation and kind of regaining some of the customers that we had, temporarily lost.
Okay. I think you mentioned a very unique point, the ability to work with the channel providers, right? The CPG companies, whether it's something like Kellogg's or P&G or, others is very important. And a lot of people struggle with that. So, at the end of the day, you being out of that cleaning supplier, the toilet paper, having that good relationship with your customer is going to be good for you because they're looking to you, right? They're not necessarily looking to Charmin or P&G or others. How did you manage that from a communication cadence perspective, especially with everything changing so rapidly? Some stores are, you may have had delivery set up or curbside pickup set up. There was a rapid transformation we saw getting some of these technology advances in, but also still trying to be personal and relevant. How did you manage that so effectively?
Yeah, so from the onset of the pandemic in March, we sought out the different opportunities in which we could use our program to engage and communicate with our valued customers on what mattered most to them and their families. So we communicated some critical information on our operations and our hours, and to the point of the Charmin and the paper towels and things like that, to providing them with updates on our in-stock availability, the status of their points within loyalty. So we really tried to keep that, use Choice as a way to communicate with our customers so that they knew that we were there for them and that we were in this together. And so that's kind of our approach.
And there's the proverbial cat.
There it is.
That was awesome.
Check that off on your bingo board.
Just when you think you've got all the kids out and the pets.
Yeah, that is awesome. So how did the Giant Choice Rewards program provide you with that vehicle and the data to really help you with the personalization efforts, to help you with the communication and cadence efforts, and you know, in the reciprocity that you're driving? Because it's a big important thing, and I think customer loyalty is more important than ever before. But you know, how did your program help you in such an effective way?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the communication channels that we already had within the Choice Rewards program, so how we were communicating, you know, the program allowed us for customers to be looking for that information. So it gave us the opportunity to talk about the other things that they were now looking for. So the in stock, where your points are going, you know, because I'm not doing the same things I was doing. So my points, you know, I needed to figure out what to do with them. So we gave them the opportunity to extend those points and said, it's okay, we got you. And we really leveraged our data. We have so much information that's available to us that we've really been able to monitor performance, monitor customer behavior, that we were able to quickly adjust to the best experiences for our customers, when to drive them to the stores and when not to. And as I mentioned, how we could communicate to the customers with the new information, keeping them as updated as possible, updates on their favorite amenities, and what was within the experience that needed attention. So the program really let us do that, because customers already knew that they would have information coming to them. So they trusted us that we would keep them informed.
That's awesome. So you made some pretty big changes to the program recently. You can talk about maybe why you decided to make those challenges and how they went in. And I think what's really important is, you know, winning the gold in the business transformation category, very impactful. But the employee engagement impact one is always kind of a unique award category for us. And you guys did very well there too. So the transformation that you put through, some of the things that you've added to the program, it seems like having the employee side and the business transformation side work very well together. So first question, you know, can you tell us about some of the changes you made to the program and why you decided to make those changes?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, really in those early days at the height of, you know, shelter at home orders, not only did we see an extreme behavior shift in shopping behavior, right? We saw that across the board, but we also saw a really dramatic shift in redemption behavior and engagement with the program specifically. So we were hearing from customers, they were concerned about their points expiring prior to being able to be used. They were staying at home, they weren't shopping as frequently. We also saw less redemption for fuel as customers were driving much less. Many were staying at home. And at the time, the price of gas was also significantly cheaper than it had been. So the value wasn't quite as compelling there as it had been once previously. And fuel for us has always been a favored redemption option. So to see customers with all these points, not going to use, concerned that they were going to expire, not using it for, you know, the rewards they wanted to use them for, we made some temporary extensions to the point expiration timing, to allow customers the time to use those points. We didn't, you know, they earned them. We wanted to give them the chance to use them. You know, we could have easily just kind of let it ride, but it wasn't the right thing to do for our customer. So we made some temporary adjustments there. That happened on all points earned, but then we also made an extension to our popular ham program that was running at the time during Easter. So we really gave customer more time all the way around. And then in addition to that, because we launched Choice not that long ago, we've come across a year here now, but when we launched it last October, we introduced grocery dollars, and that gives our customers the ability to burn points for dollars off their bill at checkout. And this became an opportunity for us to really showcase this reward option to our customers. You know, customers are facing difficult times still, but you know, this gives them an option to help save money and help fill their tables. And we developed a a campaign that was not planned. We worked together with the entire marketing team to pull something together very quickly and bring even greater awareness to that offering. With it being a relatively new option, we just still had the opportunity to educate and inform customers that this existed. And when we did that, we saw much greater engagement start to take hold. I would say in addition to that, just one other change, one that I think I'm probably most proud of, is that we were able to utilize our loyalty program to give back to customers and communities most impacted by the pandemic. So we provided options for customers to donate their points to charities, and we would turn those points into dollars for local food banks, children's hospitals, what have you. So that was a really exciting addition that we were able to bring to the program. And it was very popular. So we're looking to expand and build upon that. It's still relatively new in the launch in its infancy, but we definitely have some exciting plans to expand in that space as well.
Okay, great. Can you tell us talk a little bit about the charity pieces? Because that was something that we've heard a lot from the members of Loyalty360 during the pandemic, is having the ability to add some redemption options for charity, or potentially using their points for a balance, or and some of the systems were fairly restrictive in the ability to do that. But your ability to kind of add those unique redemption options based on some of the things you were hearing from your customers is very impactful. How are you able to navigate that so effectively?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's the beauty and the framework of the program itself. So we're able to treat it just like any other offer or promotion. So it's, where our back end systems are flexible and nimble enough that we were able to set that up, and we can flex in and out depending on who we're showcasing or supporting at the moment.
Okay, great. The number of customers and the team members, how are they engaging with the digital program? Because that was a big part of the transformation for the Choice program, the Giant Choice Rewards program, right? Is to push to more digital engagement, to push more digital activity. How are the numbers and the customers and team members, how are they engaging with the program? What are you seeing?
So currently about 31% of our customers are engaged with the brand in our digital space, which we're pretty proud of. And then that number jumps significantly when we look at our team members, where we have about 80%, which are engaged with Choice on the digital side, which is really impressive. Our customers are continuing to explore those new redemption options outside of fuel as the routines and behaviors have changed for so many over the last months. Our program really gives them the flexibility to use those points to save on what matters most to them at that time. So that's really the beauty of Choice, is that do what works for you. It's all about your choice. Our team members have really been encouraged to continue engagement through weekly offers. So we have weekly exclusive offers, and then through some really big special offers. In September, connected to our For Today's Table launch, we provided each team member with 100 grocery dollars that each team member could go and grab and activate through Choice, and then go into the stores and fill their tables and create those moments. Currently, we have a collection of digital coupons available for each team member to help them fill their holiday tables and make those moments a little bit easier as well. So by periodically driving the team members to the digital experience, we've really been able to maintain a really healthy engagement rate over the last 3 months. The more we offer, the more they explore and they find value that works for them, and then they talk about it with customers, and then the cycle starts again. So the rates are good, and we're excited, and we have a lot more to go, and we have some exciting things planned.
Okay, great. Customer loyalty, very important for your organization, obviously, and for others as well. We always like to get an understanding, how you define customer loyalty. What does customer loyalty mean to you and your organization?
Yeah, so I mean, really, if I kind of bullet it up to a high level, for us, it's understanding our customer better than any other retailer and providing her with, what she's looking for, the quality products at great prices, customer service, interactions, sense of community, really knowing that we can deliver for her every single day, so she doesn't have to think about going anywhere else to fill her family's table. So, at Giant, we're just continually seeking ways to deepen our relationship with our customers and ultimately providing new opportunities for continued loyalty in our stores and communities.
Okay, great. You saw the digital interactions via social channels spike pretty significantly during COVID-19. How did the Giant company handle that large increase, and what additional steps did you have to take to communicate to your customers, and maybe even on a staffing perspective, what did you see and how did you handle all of that spike?
Yes, we definitely saw a significant spike in our customer feedback and inquiries at the first peak in the pandemic. We saw about a 40% increase. Customers were unsure of what was safe, what they would encounter when they attempted a trip to one of our stores, what would be available when they arrived, all those questions. It was a very unknown period for all of us. So we beefed up our response efforts. We built out a larger dedicated response team in those early days of the pandemic to handle all of those inquiries and feedback. Since then, we've also introduced a chatbot feature that guides our customers to responses based on their feedback, and also a live chat feature this summer that gives our customers another option to reach us when they need us and for them to get the information that they need or want to share with us one of their experiences.
Do you see different customers? You talked about your personalization strategies, which are obviously quite impactful. Do they engage with different channels, and obviously having kind of a plethora of them helps, or are they more likely to engage in certain channels like chatbot, call? What do you see from a kind of a customer perspective with the different channels you have?
So I think that we have created these separate channels so that we have an option that works for you. So some people prefer to give a call. Some people like to spend time on the phone. Others I don't want to talk on the phone. So give me another option. I want to provide my feedback or I have a question. So another option for me. So building our different channels gives us the opportunity to be there for them in whatever space they need. So we are, we're still early on in the infancy of both of those, but our customers are kind of doing what works for them. And I think they're benefiting from having all the channels that are available to them when they need it.
Okay, great. And one of the things we like to ask is kind of our CMO challenge question. What's the biggest challenge you face as a senior level marketer? Kind of what keeps you up at night, and maybe how do you see that changing going into 2021?
I mean, I think right now, this year, it was keeping pace with all of the change and the unpredictability. Like, it was just a pop-up, whack-a-mole almost kind of year. Some things changed that we just never expected or saw coming. So, for 2021, I think change is obviously a given. Change will keep occurring. But if I'm being totally honest, I could use a little less of the unpredictability in 21. So hopefully a little less of that. I think just, a little bit more specific than that too, for us is just this ongoing challenge of digital engagement with our customer base. As Jessica mentioned, we've seen phenomenal engagement with our team members, but our customer growth has been a little bit, we're making progress, but it's not quite at the same pace as our team members. So it's really about finding the way to communicate to all of our customers that we have this added value with digital engagement and the value that it has to offer. How we can help busy families save time, save money, really get ahead of what they're trying to tackle. But it's finding the time to get those customers to slow down just long enough to get them signed up for that online account to create that journey. So that's really a big challenge for us at the moment, is just how to kind of break through and get them to connect digitally.
Okay. The next question, a lot of discussion around emotional loyalty. Obviously, food, the family, the table, bringing the family together, very emotional for your customers, all customers. What does emotional loyalty mean to you, to your industry, and to your brand?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to how we look at loyalty overall too, right? It's understanding our customer really better than anyone else. And we know our customer today wants life to be a little bit simpler so they can get back to what matters most. So for us, it's this simple thought that really guides absolutely everything that we do. And we aim to uphold this promise in a consistent and meaningful way that really builds trust and reliability with our customers. And we really just continue to evaluate ourselves through a variety of different lenses when it comes to this idea. I would say probably the metrics that most relate to emotional loyalty, we typically look at things like brand health, relational NPS, CSAT scores, and then also a variety of customer perception metrics as well that tie very closely to our brand platform and very specific promises that we look to uphold for our customers.
Okay, great. And the employee engagement, we talked about that a little bit earlier. How does that fit into the customer loyalty discussion at Giant? Are employees trained or engaged with differently today? Obviously, the safety is a big piece and of what we're seeing today as well. How do you see that going forward?
Yeah, so really without employee engagement, it's hard to create loyal customers because they need to be engaged every day, every experience. So there's a reason that our customers pick us week after week and year after year. Our desire is for that reason to be that overall experience. Things, not just in the personalized space, but in your store conditions and knowledgeable and pleasant team members and attractive personalized benefits and savings that they can count on should be why they are loyal to Giant. And then how do our team members play into that is that our team members were trained differently when we launched Choice Rewards with a method that's like, what's in it for me? That's really starting to take hold. Our desire and our path forward is to create an onboarding experience that puts loyalty in a bigger light than just a program, but in how we really engage with customers at every moment in their experience with us. It's never easy turning a light switch for 34,000 associates, and we need all of our team members to embrace the change. It's really an evolution. So that's something that we're going to keep working on, and one that I'm really, really excited about.
Great. And the last question we have, what do you think the next big thing for customer experience, customer loyalty is? Maybe your industry or in general?
Yeah, I think that's a tricky question to answer. For us, innovation is top of mind. We're always focused on the ever-changing needs of our customers. We're listening to them, what they need, taking their feedback. I think for us, loyalty is obviously a key part of our strategy. So we're taking learnings from this year, which there's been a lot. It's been kind of crazy, but we're taking those learnings along with our ongoing work and lots of strategies that we had already kind of laid the groundwork for to ensure we're continually innovating the loyalty experience. So for us, we've got some really exciting enhancements in the queue for 2021, some of which are customer facing. Others are a little bit more back end to really deliver a best-in-class experience and heightened personalization. But really all will ladder to enhancing that customer experience within our loyalty space, within an omni-channel experience.
That's awesome. And now kind of one more self-serving question. What else can the Loyalty360 do to help you and your team? I know you guys are actively involved with the community. What else can we do as a trade association for industry to help you with your efforts?
I mean, for me, I love the times where you gather the groups together and you just share information. I've really gotten some enlightening moments and some different ideas across the different industries. I think that's a good benefit for being part of this organization is that you get to hear what everyone's going through, what everyone's working on. So for me, more of that, more of those collaboration moments, more of just being open to share what's working and what's not and what keeps you up at night. Because I might have a solution that you just need to tweak a little bit for you. So I love the community. I think it's great.
That's awesome. Well,
yeah.
Go ahead, Emily.
I was just gonna say, I echo that sentiment. I think it's spot on for me. It's the collaboration and the networking and making those connections across categories. I think one of the cool things is when a partnership can evolve out of those connections that you weren't necessarily thinking about. So that's really cool. And, I think you guys have done an outstanding job this year, keeping the community of loyalty folks together and connected. So I very much appreciate everything you've been doing. Also craving that in-person when we can finally get back to that.
Yeah, hopefully we get to have that next year. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. But I think we have some cool things coming with the brand panel and being able to get more of the brands together. And I think the openness and sharing has been one of the coolest things we've seen this year. Obviously, we tried to pivot, but the growing brand membership because people want to share, right? They realize that if I give something, I'm going to get something back, and that it's really cool to do that. And obviously, your active participation has been great, so we appreciate that. Well, I think that's about all the questions I had today. It's always great talking to both of you, Emily and Jessica. I appreciate all you guys do for customer loyalty, and obviously it's great showing the awards. And thank you for the time. Look forward to hearing more in 2021.
That's right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. This is wonderful.